I was just a necromancer who commanded monsters. So why are my guild members panting beneath me now? #HealerBottom plus FallenAngel #NecromancerTop. Deep within the guild Valhalla, the office of Vice Guild Master Yenwur was steeped in an eerily heavy silence. Yenwur sat at the center of a holy barrier woven layer upon layer, biting his nails. Shaun and Kyan have fallen. That necromancer who returned from death has obtained some unknown power that binds the living as familiars. What could the conditions possibly be? Yenwur knew the weight of the betrayal he'd committed, and instinctively sensed that the necromancer would want to kill him in the most agonizing way possible. Just then, the barrier trembled faintly and the door opened. Yenwur. It was Taejun, the tanker, who walked in. Astonishingly, there wasn't a single wound on his body. The bronzed muscle visible through his shattered armor was intact, and though he looked exhausted, his life force was completely full. Yenwur instinctively raised his staff. Taejun? How did you come back completely unharmed? You'd better not have become his spy. At Yenwur's suspicious cry, Taejun, breathing hard as if wronged, dropped to his knees at Yenwur's feet. Yenwur listened to me. While I drew Shaun and Kyan's attention, I managed to steal information about his power, and I used that weakness to escape safely. A weakness, you say? Yeah. His binding power only activates when the target's life force is exactly under 1%. I knew that, so I kept fleeing while keeping my HP at 100% the whole time. That's why his familiar mark never took hold on me at all. Yenwur's pupils dilated. It was the moment everything about Taejun's unscathed return made perfect sense. Taejun desperately gripped Yenwur's hand. You're a healer. No matter what happens, you can't let your blood drop. I'll block every single attack in front of you, so you just keep both your own and my HP topped off. Then he can never bind us. Under 1%, huh? He thinks he can meet that condition against me. A healer. Yenwur screamed in silent glee. On the surface, he wore a look of concern and clasped Taejun's hand back. But at the corner of his mouth, an arrogant, victorious smile was already spreading. Taejun's unwounded body was the surest guarantee of victory, more certain than any other proof. At that moment, the sanctuary's door shattered with a massive explosion. Walking out of the darkness, me, flanked on either side by Shaun and Kyan. I looked at Yenwur, armored in his own arrogance, and smiled coldly. Yenwur, the hide-and-seek is over. Ha ha ha. Guild Master. I've already figured out the conditions for your pathetic little power. My blood will never drop to 1%. Yenwur raised his staff, radiating holy light. Shaun, Kyan, begin. At my order, the battle erupted. Kyan's magic and Shaun's ambush poured down, but Taejun swung his massive shield, blocking the attacks with everything he had. Yenwur carried himself like the ruler of the battlefield, endlessly pouring heals and buffs onto Taejun, completely neutralizing the dealer's onslaught. Yenwur was certain he'd won. As long as this formation held, Taejun blocking perfectly in front, himself healing from behind, the 1% condition was an impossible illusion, forever out of reach. But the instant Yenwur, drunk on his own victory, poured every last drop of mana into defense, I snapped my fingers lightly. Taejun, the play is over now. Wah? Taejun, who had been his sturdy, reliable shield, suddenly turned and roughly wrapped his arms around Yenwur. At the same moment, grotesque metallic shrieks tore from Taejun's back as jet-black iron plating sprouted, completely sealing off Yenwur's escape route. Taejun's ribcage split open like the gaping maw of a beast, dragging Yenwur into the spiked darkness within. Abyssal awakening. Iron Maiden. Taejun, are you insane? Let go of me. Arg. Yenwur, in shock, instinctively unleashed light of healing at the spikes constricting him, trying to heal and push them back. But that was the moment hell began. SSSSSS. Wah. The instant the healing magic touched him, Taejun's inner flesh screamed as if burning. Energy reversal had activated. As holy power converted into damage, Taejun's body reflexively contracted from the pain, driving the spikes inside even deeper into Yianhua's flesh. Aff, it hurts. What is this? Why isn't my heal working? Watching the scene from outside, I spoke with a cold, wicked smile. Yianhua still don't get it? Taejin's body has been remade so that healing now deals damage, and taking a hit restores his HP. If you want out of this cage, you're gonna have to heal him until you burst your own comrade's insides. Yianhua's eyes twisted with despair and bloodlust. To survive, he had to break this cage, and to do that, he had to kill this maddened tanker. Yianhua gritted his teeth. Choke on all my healing and burst apart already. At that moment, radiant, pure white angel wings sprouted from Yianhua's back. The sacred awakening only the continent's greatest healer could reach. Descent of the Archangel. Taking on the form of an angel, Yianhua poured the largest, most destructive burst of healing light he could summon into Taejin's inner walls.